So they'll be calling you a radical. So we're going to dive into the fucking. This is almost Chernobyl, Watts Bar, East Tennessee. By the way, one of my favorite places in the world, Knoxville. I love that cute little airport too, but try getting out of there. Good luck. By the way, Utah here, Salt Lake City's new airport is the most fucking creepiest, worst piece of shit airport I've ever been in. And I've been in hundreds of different. Oh, it's fucking horrid. By the way, when you land, I'm not kidding, a good fucking 30-minute walk to try to get to fucking transportation. And that's if you can find it, because most of the time it don't even run. So, oh, it's a piece of shit. And it used to be the nicest, fucking, most beautiful airport. Easy, but they fucking ruined it. So, there you have it. So, I want to talk about, first off, before I talk about Watts Bar, and they've been fined again 900 fucking thousand. I mean, it's so fucking incredible how criminal, fucking derelict, how close they've come to a fucking full-blown out meltdown. So you can read through this. The NRC, the Nuclear Rally Cheerleaders, finds them again. Bigger and bigger and bigger. This is exactly what happened to Chernobyl. The night shift. The fucking steam regulator. They have a steam regulator so the water doesn't turn to steam, get too hot, fry out. Which exactly what happened to San Onofre on the change, and they had to vent all over you in San Clemente. They call it a steam malfunction when it's full blown out, nuclear fucking radioactive fallout all over the sheep. That kills you. So, and they lie on the log reports, which is, they did it last year. The same thing. They did it in 2015. The same thing. Tick tock, tick tock. It's unbelievable the NRC just doesn't shut the fucker down. By the way, Watts Bar 2 only took them 44 fucking years. How many billions of fucking dollars? Yeah, clean, cheap, clean green, too cheap to murder. Fucking the most disgusting fucking, the biggest lie in human history. And before I go on, I want to talk about Miss Bush, who won in Missouri, and her mask. She says, I love this story. I'm so glad she won. I'm so glad she won because she's a big supporter of Breonna Taylor. I will never, the founder of the Million Mass March, and then we'll talk about the Million March they had today in, Mussolini Trump land. Well, I'll talk about that, but there's two of these murder by cops that I will never, ever give on because they violate my soul so deeply, so radically. Danielle Willard, which is how Black Lives Matters came to be, Million Mass March. That's how it started. Danielle Willard, a white girl in Utah. Yeah, you can elect Burgess Owens in freaking Utah from Brooklyn. You can start, the Million Mass March, Black Lives Matter, based on a white girl in the same district. And Breonna Taylor. Those two violate me so fucking hardcore. And I don't give a shit about your left, right, fucking. They're fucking such grotesque murders. Go in and just kill that fucking young woman for no fuck. By the way, they already had the boyfriend they were looking for. That was the old boyfriend. And they already knew they had him. They went in it. So, let's talk about the Mussolini March today. So, Mussolini, Trump. And if you haven't seen the Mussolini footage, it's all out there. It's on YouTube now. Go to my Facebook page. I got them all, lined up there. This reminds me exactly of fucking Trump thinks he's Mussolini. And in the end, you can watch the very real footage of how it ended for Mussolini. And it's not fucking chopped. It's on YouTube. Whoa! So Trump Trump doesn't come out of his bunker because of he's got it fenced off for 3 blocks. He drove out today and went through now let's talk about this. And more power to the Trumpettes that protested today. You did a good job. I thought it was a good turnout. They had probably, my guess, they had to have about 10,000 there, I would think. It was a good fucking march and peaceful, the other side showed up there at the Supreme Court and they were fucking intense. And that's the way it is. I'm in the street all the time. The Trumpers and the Obamacans, the Trumpers and Black Lives, they don't fight. They get in each other's face, but that's healthy. It's the cops that are the fucking problem. And it's not even DC police or Capitol Police, blah, blah, blah. It's the white shirts when they call those goons out. Homelands. Remember that was supposed to be temporary? So just remember this, the Trumpettes. It was a good turnout. This is reactionary. Exactly 4 years ago, the same number, 306. The Hillary cloud turned out. I mean, we're to the day. They had over 1 million. Over 1 million. I think the Trump crowd maybe had, they could have been, I'm thinking between 5 and 10,000. You know, and I'm being generous there, and I appreciate them. I appreciate both sides. I mean, in the street activism, I mean, it's important, and I'm fucking all for it, you know. So, oh, by the way, I need to get back to the Lindsay Mills dynamic. What's her and Putin and Snowden going to name the baby? I think they're going to name it Stillman. Stalin. That's what I think. They was going to name it Baron, but that one's already taken by a spy who made me Octopussy Pussy Galore. So, this Watts Bar thing is a fucking catastrophe. And by the way, anybody that has a Breonna Taylor face mask or knows where to get some, I wish you'd, you know, it'd be nice if somebody sent me, you know, a few. I'd wear them. I'd look around. I don't know where to buy them. Of course, I'm too broke to buy shit anymore after that trip to D.C. Whoa. So, I saw some of the best face masks ever when I was in D.C. Of course, the Trump crowd don't wear them. The other side, when we're at that, those major, you know, when they filled up the street, came out pots and pans, that was about as organic as it gets. It wasn't, you know, AstroTurf like the Trump driving through the parade. I mean, think about Trump driving through, just, God, enough to make you fucking puke, ain't it? Fucker's insane. I mean, and by the way, this falling in love with a fucking president that you've never met and a political figure is, I've always found it bizarre as hell. And these Trump, I mean, indoctrinated, the Obamacans did it too. They did it too. Same thing, which to me is bizarre as hell. I still don't get it. I will never get it. I will never understand how this country got so hypnotized, left, right, dogma burgers. Operation Foxconn, you can only be hypnotized if you want to be hypnotized. How can you fall in love with a person you've never fucking met, a political figure? You know, they're all fucking actors in a fucking play. And so, well, of course, Trump drank his own Kool-Aid, just like Mussolini did. I remember being in the Coliseum. There's a cross in the back of the Coliseum. How the fuck? I didn't know that. Mussolini put it there. And so, it's pretty amazing how this has came to be. The Trumpets versus the Obamacans. Who would have ever believed it? Meanwhile, back on the farm, there's a nuclear reactor in your backyard. Tick-tock, Diablo Canyon clock. Watts Bar. How about Watts Bar 2 took 44 years. Let me get back to this. So, Watts Bar 2, clear back when the head of the NRC. Now, this is a good story. You will get nowhere. The head of the NRC, clear back in the fucking 70s when that thing was being built, got busted for fraud. Went to jail. Yeah, head of the NRC. So when the Senate Onofre, which, by the way, Kamala Harris was paramount on, you know, well, PV and Cherry and all that corruption. She was the AG in California. PV told me to go fuck myself. He was head of the California Commission. He told more than me. He told other ones that, too. To my face. You know, Kamala Harris rated his house. Head of the California Public Commission, in bed with Jerry Brown. The corruption, chopping up the steam malfunction. Tick-tock, Diablo Canyon clock. It was exposed that the California Public Commission, Watts Bar, the NRC chair who got found guilty for fucking fraud, went to prison, had moved to California after he got out of prison, and was on the California Public Commission fucking energy board. Yep. These three, you read this statement on Watts Bar. Again, this is so... You know how close that is to a fucking full-blown out meltdown? They fucking knew the exchange was down, which is the mitigator that keeps the fucking water from turning to fucking steam, you know, keeps it cooler, you know. By the way, most of these nuclear energy reactors got so much spent fuel stocked out now, it takes more energy to keep them, the spent fuel pools, cool than they even produce. It's just a big fucking sham. By the way, Watts Bar's Knoxville, right by Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Megan Rice. I talked to the Plowshares people. I didn't go over to the house Dorothy Day because of age and COVID, but they had none. She was right there. There's a video with her right there, and I'm like, hi. She's like, oh, hi, Kev, you know, and she came over and did her gig and protested Trump. So you read through this. It was the night shift, just like at Chernobyl. And they're like, they knew the fucking exchange was down, so they went ahead anyway with no backup and did it anyway. And they had to emergency go into, just like Chernobyl, they had to go into emergency backup mode that's not even fucking, they're not even trained. It's a miracle it didn't melt down. Then they lied on the fucking logs, just like Chernobyl. Where's Laguskov when we need him? Yeah. By the way, I consulted on the Chernobyl documentary. I got a hat. It was a cool hat, my HBO documentary hat. I got stolen Lisa's fucking car. I remember I dropped it. I'm like, oh my God. I left it when she dropped me in the airport. And I'm like, called her. And she says, oh no, I found it. I'm like, oh, thank God. Then her car gets stolen. So, the only thing I don't like about that documentary is when they try to spin that somehow this was them not using cooling towers versus using cooling towers because of communist versus social, which is total fucking bullshit. Now, the narrative in Russia and Eastern Europe, which I spent so much time in Eastern Europe, Dana, is that the CIA blew it. And if you think that's a crazy thesis, you don't know anything about Edward Teller, that Mad Hungarian. He was asked towards the end of his life, I pissed on his grave. He's the most evil killer in human history. Edward Teller, well, you're probably responsible for fucking poisoning the entire planet, killing millions, if not billions of fucking lives with your nuclear madman monsterism. I don't care. As long as I stop them bleeping Russians. You know. If you don't think that's a crazy, you know nothing about the Cold War, Tsar Putin and Trump. So Trump driving his car through the parade. I mean, he hasn't come out of the bunker. And he comes out, you know, poor Secret Service having to go through that fucking super spreader crowd. You know, I love it how Fox News is bad-mouthing fucking us for celebrating. But look through those crowds. Almost every single person in that celebration riding with Biden had a mask. By the way, I don't like fucking Biden. I don't think but most of the people in that crowd don't. They just hate fucking Trump. And why do I dislike Trump? Because he's so pro-nuclear. And he's covered I don't like Obama either. You know, so I don't pick fucking sides. So, like I said, again, if somebody has a Breonna Taylor mask, I sure like a couple. So she says, Miss Booker, Corey, I'm so glad she won. She says, my Republican colleagues are coming up and asking me, calling me Breonna. She says, you know, I don't find it offensive. I find it a compliment, and it's bringing attention. Then I explain to him who Breonna is. Thank you for wearing that mask in your press conference. You know, I won't, no knock fucking warrants. Even that fucking psycho case, and Rand Paul, who's nuttier than 3 fruitcakes, he ain't his dad. Even he says no knock warrants got to fucking go. You know, but just like nuclear energy. How come we can't get no traction? Kevin Blanchard, you can't get no traction because you can't pick a side. Left, right. You can't make heads or tails what it is. Is it left or right? Because everything in this country's got to be divided. That's why people can't figure me out. They'll never figure me out, I guess. But, so this is a scary situation, Watts fucking bar. Fuck, unbelievable. To the NRC. Oh, that fucking crook. She'll be gone soon, thank God. She's the crook from Idaho National Lab who gave her partner Jose Reyes. That's another one reason fucking I'm glad that fucking Trump lost, because she'll get replaced. She needs to go to fucking prison. The FBI, just like they are in Ohio. Thank you to the AG in Ohio. Thank you to the FBI that did go do some work in Ohio. So, Watts Bar, shut that fucker down. Shut that fucker down yesterday before it fucking kills everybody, you know, in the whole region. Stand tuned. Thank you to everybody who's supported this historic work, but I've had $90 of support in the last 2 fucking weeks, and that fucking trip to fucking and you know, thank you to Boober who drove over. Oh, what a fight we got on our hands. Kevin Blanch versus the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate. I don't pick your fucking sides. And by the way, again, I support the Trump people going in the street. I support the fucking Black Lives Matters in the street. I support them out. It's important. Intense, hardcore fucking... This is my line. Cordial conversations are dangerous. Passionate, intelligent fucking arguments get results. Out in the street, that's where we meet. Hands up! No nukes. Hands up! No nukes. Hands up! No nukes. And so, I don't pick fucking sides. I hate Obama and Trump equally. Look at Trump's fucking parade. He's a creep. Just like Obama. Stand tuned.